Now, looking at the Aussie New Zealand dollar pair, there's a really interesting seasonal pattern to look at ahead of the RBNZ meeting. Now, you can see on May the 12th, the New Zealand dollar did lose a lot of value against the Aussie dollar. That was due to cooling inflation projections. New Zealand 2-year inflation expectations fell to 2.8% from 3.3% prior for the second quarter. And these cooler inflation projections sent the Aussie New Zealand dollar higher. And you can just see here the bond yield spread also pushing higher on expectations that perhaps the RBNZ doesn't need to be as hawkish as ster markets are pricing in. Now, in contrast to that, ANZ are forecasting the RBNZ to have to hike by 5.75% in July. If we take a look at ster market pricing, we can see that there's a nearly 100% chance, 95% chance it's standing at the moment, of the RBNZ hiking by 25 basis points up to 5.5% when they meet next week on the 24th of May. And you can see ster markets are projecting potentially another interest rate hike still to come. And certainly the expectations are that the RBNZ will hike next week, and they potentially may indicate that they'll need to do more if inflation doesn't come down. Now, what's really interesting about this meeting is that the seasonal pattern is really fascinating. The Aussie New Zealand dollar has this very pronounced period of weakness around this meeting. So the 17th of May to 27th of May, you tend to see the Aussie New Zealand dollar fall. It's quite pronounced, 75% of the time, nearly 80% of the time, in fact, and an average fall of minus 0.81%. Now, there's no reason that I can see for it, but what I can notice is that's a really pronounced seasonal pattern to the downside. And if we just take a look at the Aussie New Zealand dollar pair, what you can see is sat in this key support level. Now, typically you would expect this, support level to hold. And if the RBNZ are dovish in any sense that they say that's one and done, or we don't need any more interest rate hikes, or they don't hike at all, we would expect this support level to hold. But that seasonal pattern is worth looking at. And if the RBNZ are more hawkish than the market's expecting, then that would open up potential for further downside back down to that 1.0500 next major daily support level. So what's the major trade risks? The major trade risk here, of course, is the RBNZ do take a more dovish stance. That would be a natural headwind to seasonal Aussie New Zealand dollar downside. What we spoke about in this video is a risk event analysis surrounding the upcoming risk event outlined in this video. We want to put seasonals, fundamentals and technicals all together for a great trade. We have the latest high probability swing trade ready for you right now to grab. If you just click below this video, we'll send it to you straight away.